The chaos erupted on Elmwood Drive like a storm nobody saw coming. It was a typical sunny morning in our quiet Pasadena suburb, the kind where palm trees sway gently and neighbors wave over manicured lawns. But at 9:15 a.m., Brooke Hamilton's scream shattered the peace from her sleek modern condo. It wasn't just a yell, it was a gut-wrenching wail that froze everyone in their tracks. I know because I orchestrated it. From the driver's seat of my SUV parked 2 blocks away, my heart pounding with a mix of rage and regret. My name is Rachel Thompson, and this is my story of how betrayal turned me into someone I barely recognized. But unlike the vengeful monster I could have become, I chose a path that was legal, calculated, and ultimately more healing for me, at least. It all started 3 months earlier, when Brooke texted me out of the blue. We'd been inseparable in college at UCLA, roommates through late-night study sessions and heartbreaks. She was my maid of honor at my wedding to Ethan 12 years ago. But life pulled us apart when she chased her real estate dreams up to San Francisco. Now, she was back in Southern California, settling into Pasadena for a fresh start. Guess who's your new neighbor? Can't wait for wine nights and beach days, her message read, with a string of excited emojis. I grinned at my desk in the marketing firm where I handled campaigns for local startups. Ethan, my husband, the corporate lawyer, would love this. I called him right away. Brooke's moving back. We have to throw her a barbecue or something. His response was clipped. Distracted. That's awesome. Ratch. Busy day here, let's plan tonight. I brushed it off. Ethan had been pulling long hours at his downtown LA firm, gunning for partner. Our life in Pasadena was picture-perfect, Spanish-style home with a pool, weekend hikes in the nearby hills. Or so I thought. Helping Brooke house hunt felt like old times. We toured condos, sipping iced lattes from Starbucks, reminiscing about dorm pranks. You and Ethan are goals, she said, hugging me. Still so in love after all these years. I nodded, ignoring the nagging doubt. Ethan had grown distant late nights, vague excuses about client dinners in Beverly Hills. Sex was mechanical, conversations superficial. I chalked it up to stress. The firm was merging, and he was stressed about billable hours. But cracks appeared. One evening, I surprised him with tickets to a Dodgers game for our anniversary. Can't. Babe, begged deposition. His eyes avoided mine. Then Brooke moved in, and suddenly Ethan's late meetings aligned with her open houses. I ignored the red flags until that fateful night. I'd made his favorite, tri-tip steak grilled on the barbecue, with fresh avocado salad. No answer to my calls. Worry turned to suspicion. Using our shared location app for safety, we joked. I tracked him to a trendy spot in Santa Monica, far from his office. Heart racing, I drove there, parking across the street from the Ocean View restaurant. Through the window, I saw them, Ethan laughing, his hand on Brooke's knee under the table. She leaned in, her signature blonde waves catching the candlelight. They kissed, deep, passionate, like lovers who'd done this 100 times. My world tilted. Brooke? My confidant. The one I'd cried to about Ethan's emotional walls? I watched them leave arm in arm, heading to her condo. Texts buzzed. Ethan. Stuck at work. Love you. Brooke. Miss our chats, girls' night soon? That night, I didn't confront. I cried alone, then rage-fueled research. In California, affairs aren't illegal, but using marital funds for them, that's dissipation of assets in divorce court. I hired a private investigator discreetly, legal, thorough. Bank statements showed transfers, dinners at Nobu, Weekend getaways to Malibu billed as business trips. Ethan had even co-signed on Brooke's condo lease. Using our joint savings. I played the perfect wife while building my case. Cooked enchiladas. Planned date nights. You've been distant, I said one dinner. Work's killing me, he lied. Meanwhile, Brooke and I met for yoga in the park. How's the love life? She'd ask innocently. Strained, I'd reply, watching her guilt flicker. The PI got photos. Ethan entering her building. Hotel receipts from a conference in Laguna Beach. But revenge wasn't my endgame. I wanted justice, not destruction. California family law favors equitable division. I'd ensure he paid for the betrayal financially and emotionally, but without breaking laws or my soul. As weeks turned to months, my plan solidified. No anonymous terror tactics, that's harassment, prosecutable under California's stalking laws. Instead, I consulted a divorce attorney, sharp and no-nonsense, specializing in high-asset splits. Gather proof of infidelity and financial misuse, she advised. We'll file for dissolution. Cite irreconcilable differences. But request spousal support and asset reallocation based on his misconduct. I documented everything legally, time-stamped photos, copied statements showing $15,000 funneled to Brooke's lifestyle, new furniture, spa days. Ethan thought he was clever, routing through a business account, but our CPA confirmed it was marital property. Brooke sensed something off. During a coffee run at a local roastery, she probed. You okay? Ethan seems tense. I smiled thinly. Marriage ebbs and flows. Inside, I seethed. She'd confided in me about a new guy, describing Ethan perfectly, seeking advice on secrecy. The hypocrisy burned. Ethan's guilt manifested in overcompensation, surprise flowers from the farmer's market, sudden interest in couples therapy. Let's reconnect, he suggested. I agreed to sessions, recording them subtly, legal in CA with consent implied in shared home. He confessed nothing, but his body language screamed lies. The turning point came when I discovered Brooke's vulnerability. Over wine at my place, ironic. Yes, she opened up about her past. A bad breakup in SF left her fearing abandonment, plus anxiety from a creepy client stalker years ago. I just want stability, she said. I noted it, but not for cruelty. My revenge would expose truths, forcing growth. I prepared the package, not terror, but truth. A professional dossier, printed evidence of the affair, timeline of financial drains, anonymous tip to Brooke's real estate board about ethical concerns, dating clients' spouses' skirts lines. I'd mail it certified, no trace to me initially. But ethically, I wavered. Was this humane? A neighbor, old Mrs. Garcia from down the street, a widow who'd lost her husband to cancer, became my confidant during porch chats. Sometimes, Mija, holding on to anger poisons you, she said over tamales she baked. But justice? That's God's work. Inspired. I shifted. Instead of anonymous.
I de confront indirectly.
Letting consequences unfold naturally. The scream day, I'd sent Brooke the dossier via courier, labeled from a concerned colleague. Inside, photos, statements, a note. Your actions have consequences. Seek help. She opened it during her morning routine, coffee in hand. The scream? Realization hitting, her secret exposed. Career at risk. Neighbors rushed over. The yoga mom. The retired cop. Paramedics came, but it was panic, not injury. From my vantage, I watched, then drove home. Ethan called frantic. Brooke's freaking out, says someone's blackmailing her. I feigned shock.
What?
That's awful. That night, I confronted him. I know.
Ethan.
Everything. His face crumpled. No denials, just tears. It was a mistake. I love you. But love?
Shattered.
Filing for divorce was straightforward in LA County. My attorney petitioned, citing the affair and asset dissipation. Ethan was served at his office, humiliating, but legal. He begged for reconciliation, but I was done. Community property laws meant I'd get half the house equity, retirement accounts, plus reimbursement for misused funds. Brooke called, hysterical. Rachel, the package, it's about us. How did you know?
I didn't pretend.
I saw you too. Then I confirmed. Silence. Then sobs.
I'm sorry.
It just happened. We met at a neutral park bench near the Rose Bowl. Tears flowed, hers from regret, mine from betrayal's sting. Why me? I asked. You were my sister. She confessed. Loneliness in SF. Ethan's charm during friendly lunches when she visited. It escalated. I thought it was love. But love doesn't hide. Surprisingly,
Talking humanized it.
no forgiveness yet, but understanding. Brooke quit seeing him. Focused on therapy. Her board cleared her. No formal violation, but reputation dinged. Ethan's fallout. Firm demoted him pending ethics review. Affairs with connected parties raise conflicts. He moved to an apartment in Glendale. Alone with regrets. I thrived, promoted at work, joined a hiking group in Griffith Park, rediscovered painting. Mrs. Garcia hosted support dinners, reminding me, La Familia is who lifts you. Drama peaked in mediation. Ethan offered generous settlement to avoid court exposure. I was a fool, he admitted. Brooke testified voluntarily, detailing her role brave, redemptive. Months blurred into healing. Divorce finalized. I kept the house buyout.
Half assets. Plus $50 car remboursement.
Ethan paid alimony temporarily while rebuilding. Brooke and I.
Tentative.
She volunteered at a women's shelter, confronting her patterns. We met occasionally, not friends, but civil. You taught me accountability, she said. Ethan sought counseling, confronted his ambition's cost. He dated casually, but the spark was gone. One call, I miss us. I replied, that us is gone. Find yourself. My life bloomed, dated a kind teacher for my art class, traveled to Big Sur. The lesson? Betrayal scars, but resilience rebuilds. Revenge tempts, but legal paths and self-care bring true justice. Pasadena's sunsets reminded me, endings birth beginnings. Years later, reflecting on Elmwood Scream, not destruction, but awakening. Brooke married.
Stable now.
Ethan remarried. Humbled.
Me?
Happy.
Whole.
The light lesson. Trust is fragile, but self-love unbreakable. Communicate before cracks widen. Betrayal's pain fades when you choose growth over grudge. My story? A cautionary tale of love's fragility in sunny California, where shadows lurk but light prevails.